Rage was developed by id Software, that's the same guys that done Doom, of course, and published by Bethesda. Now, it's a game that takes place in the future after the world is struck by a meteor, so it's all changed, and there is an overarching evil government, surprise, surprise, so it's not quite different from today. Now, you take the control of a character who has lived up in space on things called arcs, and then you crash land back to Earth, and you get rescued by a character called Hager, who is voiced by John Goodman, Mr. Flintstone himself, which is pretty cool. And you quickly, being an outsider, get tasked with doing a lot of things that all of these lazy-ass settlement people could have done themselves. You effectively have to then go on a little quest to make areas safer, again, doing menial jobs for people that they could have done themselves. You know, instead of sending a small army, they just send you in because that's cool. There is quite a lot of weapons that you can... you mainly get them all through progressing through the game, but a couple of them you do have to buy, like the assault rifle. But the gunplay is not too bad and very similar to Doom. What's really cool is the enemies also are quite wiry, and they'll hop on the walls, on the ceiling, they'll duck and dive and roll, all to try and get out of the way of your bullets, which is pretty cool. There's a crafting system enabling you to craft these cool spinny things that unlock doors, cool spinny things that you throw, and you can also make RC cars that explode after a certain point, and obviously craft bandages, and so that's pretty cool. You can also collect all sorts of knickknacks to sell to vendors so you can get money to buy more ammo. There's quite a lot of side content in Rage. I'm quite surprised. Now, I didn't do too much of it because I'm just trying to clear out my backlog on my PC as much as I can before Starfield gets here. So Rage was one of the ones I gave a go. I did some of them. There's like a cool board game that you can participate in towards the second half of the game. There's also racing where you can earn prizes, tickets, unlock more vehicles. Now the vehicle combat is pretty cool. You can equip different weapons like gun turrets and Gatling guns and stuff to your car and blow up enemy cars out in between points of interest. So it's sort of like a semi-open world with settlements and areas, levels basically. There's not too many and the game isn't too long. If you just plow on with the main story, pretty much like what I did, then you're going to complete it in about 6 to 7 hours ish. Doesn't take long at all in the slightest. The characters are pretty well animated and quite well voiced, to be honest. A lot of it has aged pretty well considering it came out in 2011. You know, over 10 years ago, and I enjoyed it back then. You know, I played it through on the 360 originally, but story-wise, it is a little on the weaker side, but there's some pretty cool enemies with mutants, and there's also some ones that, you know, spit stuff at you.
Oh no, you did not shoot that green shit at me!
Because who doesn't love being spat at? That's well, don't quote me on that. That sounds weird. But with with the rest of it, it's a shooter. It's definitely this day and age like a budget game to get. It's not like a retro game. I'd say rush out and oh my god, you have to play this. It's there. It's a cool game to pick up for a couple of quid if you're in between large game playthroughs. Like if you're playing Baldur's Gate at the minute, I would just continue playing that, or if you're just waiting for Starfield and you just want something quick to play for the next couple of weeks before it releases, Rage is worth giving a go. I've been munching through games lately, which has been really, really cool, and I'm glad I played through Rage. I did have a really good time. I didn't encounter any issues, to be honest, in terms of bugs or glitches or anything, but then for a game that old, you'd hoped it would have been patched up by now. There is a bit of moaning in the Steam reviews if you're getting it on PC. A lot of people are complaining about texture popping and saying it's unplayable. It is absolutely not. It's there occasionally. This gameplay is nothing altered. This is just everything at max graphics, playing on my PC. I've got no external mods or fixes or anything. You tell me, is this unplayable? I don't think it is. Not at all. But please let me know in the comments down below if you've played Rage. It's still a very good FPS to play now. And yeah, I have got the second game. But again, I'm not going to start that one because it is a lot larger. So I'm going to wait till after I've completed Starfield. But I will definitely take on the sequel. But thank you very much for watching.